Alright guys, so a quick sort of first look video here at the iFlight Chimera5. I haven't done all of my testing. It's going to take some time to get through everything, but I wanted to get a video out while it's still in stock because mainly the DJI camera and the Nebula Pro cameras are going to be out of stock pretty soon as far as I know from the information I have. And if you've seen the product pages of this, they actually originally shot these with the DJI camera, but they now come with the Nebula Pro camera because I'm pretty sure all the DJI cameras are out of stock now, and I'm hearing that the Nebula Pro cameras are going to be out of stock pretty soon. So if you're looking to get something like this, which is basically it's a cruiser, kind of long range, more flight time, you know, if you want something a little bit more with a little bit more stability than the 4-inch ones that are out there for long range, and you don't really care about the 250 gram limit, then this might be something you might want to look into. So it's a, it's a dead cat 5-inch frame. I'll go over, all the specs, and then in the full review video, they'll be linked down in the description if you want to check out the specs to everything. Basically individual arms. You got top plate, bottom plate. I think the arms are 4 millimeters thick. I'll give you the weights here in a second. It has GPS in the back. GPS rescue is not set up out of the box. You do have to set that up yourself. Does come with one of those loud lost model alarms with the battery, so it has a battery backup in case your main flight battery gets ejected. Mine is the obviously the Vista version for DJI with the Crossfire receiver. Obviously it comes in other receiver versions or no receiver version, and there's also an analog version as well, which I did not test. It's possible that I think later on, when the Vista and the Caddx camera are no longer available or out of stock, which I don't know how long it's going to be out of stock for. I'm hearing maybe a month or two. This might be available in a Vista-less version, like the way Flywoo and some of the other companies sent out their bind and fly basically without the Vista. So when there was a shortage back then. So if that happens, then just be aware that you may run into that problem where you have to install it yourself. But basically, the motors here are the 2005 motors that I reviewed a while back. I will link that video down in the description if you want to see how these motors fly in sort of a more performance setting without, the extra weight of this heavier frame. You can watch that video, but it does, require basically the iFlight based props. And yeah, if you're kind of like not happy about being stuck with those props only, then you might not want to go this route. If you like to sort of mix and match your props. But the good side is if you do use this setup here, and obviously you're going to be stuck with these props, the pitch tune out of the box on this one is pretty good. I'll show you the flight that I flew with the Forest 850. This is a 2005 2550 kV motor. So basically it's mainly meant for 4S. You could do 6S if you do a motor output limit. I'll make a video about that later. I'll explain how to do that. So I get a lot of questions about that, but you could basically take any high kV motor and run that's meant for 4S and run a 6S battery on this if you do some tricks in beta flight. So yeah, if you want to know more about that, let me know down in the comments below. But yeah, I flew with this one and it felt really good out of the box in terms of the pitch tune. All I did was bind it up and it flew great. And even you could do a little bit of light acro with this, although not really meant for acro. It's really meant for like long range flying, cruising, longer flight times. If that's what you're looking for, then this is going to be more your style. But if you do want to throw in a little bit of light acro, you can see in the flight demo that I did some flips and rolls and flippy floppies and all that kind of stuff, and some power loops, and it handled it really well. The pitch tune on this is pretty good, almost no prop wash at all, so I was pretty impressed by that. Now, as you can see here, this did come with GoPro or naked GoPro mount here. This is meant for their Hero 8 naked GoPro case, which I don't have, and I don't have a naked Hero 8. I do have the Hero 6 naked, and they don't have a mount for this particular mount that will fit the, obviously they're trying to not make a mount for the competitors, which is basically KipRC, Flywoo, and Beta FPV made a camera that would fit a lot of this mount. So I'm actually looking for a mount for this. I'm going to try and find one or make one myself. So that's going to take a little bit of time. However, they do offer a bigger mount, and they sent this along. This is a much larger mount that you can install on here instead, and it's meant to mount these larger, Hero 8, full-size Hero 8 GoPro cases. So now yes, this will carry a full-size Hero 8 for sure. It's just that your flight time's reduced. So I'll just throw up a little something here on the screen. It's on the product page as well. You can check it out. Basically, they have this tested out on a variety of different batteries. So, like 4S 850, bigger 4S battery, just like a regular LiPo. They tested it out on these like 4S lithium ion batteries, and they come up with various flight times for each. And then obviously if you throw on a naked GoPro, it reduces your flight time because it does add more weight. Throw on a very large and heavy full-size Hero 8 with all this extra amount in the camera, which is at least 150 grams, is going to reduce your flight time even more. So this is meant to carry all that stuff. It'll carry just no problem. And it's just that when you put on more weight, it reduces the acroability of the craft. It reduces its ability to be more agile. It also reduces its flight time. So keep that in mind. But I'll explain more of that stuff later in the full review. I know some of you guys are just like, well, how much does it weigh? It's definitely going to be over 250. So for those of you guys that are needing this to be under 250, no battery, it's already 263. So it's definitely, the 2005 motors are not light. And then the way I flew it here with the 854s, it's 360. Yeah. So if you fly with a 4S, with the 4S 18650 batteries, we're coming at 460, and then you throw in the naked GoPro, which is going to add another 35 grams on top of that. So we're close to 500 grams here. Yeah, so, but it's still going to be lighter than your typical 5-inch setup with the GoPro, which is going to be approaching probably 650 to 700 grams. So, definitely for this setup here and with the production and weight, you're going to get more flight time in general versus a traditional 5-inch setup with the bigger motors and like the bigger frame. Anyway, that's going to be it for this one. I'm going to show you the flight for the 4S 850, and just letting you know that I releasing this video a little bit early, not totally complete, because I do want to test it on the bigger batteries and see how much flight time I get. Mainly because things go out of stock. Some of the other channels put out their videos a lot faster than I do sometimes, and people are like, well, I didn't see your video, and they don't follow some of the other bigger channels, so they get a little upset because they can't buy it because it's been totally bought out. And I already know that there's going to be a shortage of these cameras attached to the Vista systems. So because all these manufacturers like Chimera5, iFlight, FPV, they're all using these cameras, and as well as stores selling them. So I know that these are very popular. And so if you're looking to get this one and you're on the fence, you're not sure, I would say it's pretty safe to go ahead and get it if you're going to be flying with a naked GoPro and like the 4S 850. It flies really well on that. I've yet to know how well it flies on the lithium ion battery packs, but my feeling is it's going to be heavier, but you're going to get more flight time. You're just not going to be able to do any flippy floppies with that much weight with this motor setup. So if you want to be doing flippy floppies with a 4S 850 or a 4S 18650 lithium ion pack, you might be disappointed. I'm not really sure what's a good one out there, but if someone knows, let me know down in the comments below. What's a good 5-inch setup that will do lots of flippy floppies with plenty of power on a 4S 18650 pack? If you know something that exists out there, let me know and I'll spread the word. But I don't think there's anything that's that good, because the 18650 just don't give a lot of power in general. It just doesn't have a huge current output. Anyway, here's a flight, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.